Tonight on The Hot House, Les the Builder dishes the dirt on the on-site bludger.
Asks him to do a job and he walks off and doesn't come back for about half an hour.
Joker Phil drives Tina to breaking point. And Pete sings to surviving another week in the Hot House.
Got immunity. Keep your eye on me.
Hot House. Hot House.
Hello, welcome to the Hot House, America. Yesterday, our amateur builders got a crash course in landscape architecture. Today, it's more gardens, rendering and tactics. With Pete and Tina up for elimination, along with Chris and Sarah, a few of our wily competitors are changing tack ever so slightly.
It's day 29 on the Hot House job site, and the morning starts with the renderers in full swing. A texture coat needs to go over yesterday's base coat.
Now, it is important that we keep it wet.
It's the contestants' second day on rendering, but they still can't get it together.
It looks alright.
Would you?
Right. This is another happy man.
Well, it's quality. It's my name up there, so one of you has to live in here too.
I think we'll just cover it with a climbing plant.
Fair enough.
Finally, Vortec concedes defeat, on this part of the house anyway.
We'll just let you go because we're obviously going to have to redo this wall. Go for it. Have a practice.
Why have to redo it?
Well, look at the dry zone we're getting. See that step? See how that's all uniform and you're getting all different variations? That's got to be perfect.
The gang may have been told they've mucked up, but they're reluctant to admit it.
Considering it was our first shot at it.
Yeah.
Vortec brings in the experts to save the wall, but Sarah thinks he may have overreacted.
I think it actually doesn't look too bad. You know, I don't go over it. They just, you know, tidied it up a little bit. Yeah. We did all the hard work. We did hard work this morning.
The couples get another chance to prove themselves by rendering a second wall, and something surprising happens.
That's it. Put on more.
What do you think, Vortec?
Mate, much better than the previous wall. Thanks for your help, guys.
Thanks, Vortec.
A lot less wastage than on the other side, and it looks actually good, eh?
Cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, cheers. Cheers.
A house like this normally takes about 6 months to build, but the Hot House is on track to be up in just 3 months, thanks largely to the efforts of this man, Les the Builder.
The rendering's just about finished. It'll be finished tomorrow. Plastering, hopefully finished Monday. So, it's starting to come good.
With such a tight deadline, Les has to keep the site moving, rain, hail or shine.
There will be no bloody whinging.
And he relies heavily on the brawn of the contestants, so he can't afford to have any slackers.
There's a few there that are a bit ordinary, but the bulk of them are pretty good.
High on Les's wall of honour is this guy.
Simon seems to be the first bloke I ask for someone to do a job, and he's the first one with the hands up, and then asks what the job is, where all the other guys are asking what the job is, then they put their hands up.
Les also handed accolades to Chris, a proven worker who's been nominated for elimination this week.
Chris does that. I mean, I'm up with Chris at 5:30 every morning, and he'll be on the site cleaning up without anyone asking. So I mean, he's great.
He's up early, he's doing stuff, and he sort of is a bit of a quiet achiever in that respect.
I just do what I do, like if people see that as me hardworking, then yeah, I'm used to getting up at 5:30, being on site by 6 and work till 4 or whatever.
But this isn't a boys-only work site, and for the fairer sex, this girl is carrying the torch.
Natalie would have to be the standout, and that heat the other day, we had to tell her to sit down and go and have a drink. She said, no, I've got to get the job done, got to get it finished, and yeah, that sort of guts there.
But while Les has opinions of the star performers, he also notices the slackers.
Well, I suppose there's a standout that end too is Phil. Everyone's calling him a bludger here out of all the boys because I asked him to do a job and he walks off and doesn't come back for about half an hour, hoping that the job's done.
Coming up, the gang searches for inspirational landscape ideas for the hothouse gardens.
It's like the Chinese, Japanese feel, which goes well with the tattoos.
Yesterday you saw a nice little place up the canal. Today we're going to hit Noosa, we're going to have a look at some more gardens, some more designs, before one of you gets the honour of completing the final design. More about that later. Now get your engines started, get in your cars, let's go.
The gang is headed to Noosa, an hour's drive north of the hothouse and home to some of Australia's most luxurious houses. And our first stop doesn't disappoint. It's contemporary Queensland architecture at its best. Water is used to link all the indoor living spaces, and the open plan leaves visitors feeling walls are non-existent. Landscape design guru Mike Swanson of Place Design is impressed.
The use of materials is a very cohesive, rich design with the paving, the timber, the stone, and the strong entry statement.
The contestants are here to gather ideas, but they'll soon have to make their own hothouse landscape plan, then pitch it to the group. So Brett's already on the task of selling his design.
What do you think of this, man?
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's nicer than the other one with the pattern all over there.
It's quite cool that it's like, it makes it look really open, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that the same colour as our rendering? No, that's a lot nicer than ours.
Simon and Jules' tastes strike a chord with someone unexpected.
Love the wooden deck inside, that's really lovely.
And sort of the Asian sort of feel about it with the little rock garden and...
It's like the Chinese, Japanese feel, which goes well with the tattoos.
By the canal, another living area.
I actually think the best part about it is this back area here. I really like how the stairs come down.
It seems everyone likes the house, except for Christian and Amy.
I really like the entrance. That's probably the only thing I like about this house.
For me personally, I think it's a bit sparse. I think it's all starting to look the same.
The next display shows a modern streetscape with its lines broken by foliage.
This is also an option for your house with your garage on the right and maybe handling the entry more soft, more green.
Oh, it's interesting how they've got a walkway coming from the roadside rather than from the driveway.
You know, it helps to reinforce that entry, which is our number one rule we want to try to achieve with your place.
Our final property married Mediterranean and contemporary Australian influences, but our couples had mixed reactions.
It's great use of the side of the house too, to have the swimming pool just wrapping around right up to the fence line.
What do you reckon?
It's not exactly pet or kid-friendly at all.
What do you think about the variety of plants?
Oh, great.
Yeah, plants are great. Preferably, I prefer grass.
Don't forget, this week, Chris and Sarah and Pete and Tina have been voted off. But you have until midday Friday to save one couple with an SMS save vote. So who will you keep on the show? Maybe couple number 2, Chris and Sarah from Brisbane. He's a factory worker and she's a pub manager.
I walked into this party not expecting too much from this night.
But their real love is entertaining. They also love the house, and Chris is regarded as one of the hardest workers on the hothouse site. Or maybe you'll SMS to save couple 14, Tina and Pete. He describes himself as lewd, crude and tattooed.
Usually I get the opposite, like you look a bit intimidating and everything like that. I'm only 4'11" or something.
Tina loves to chat. They miss their children back in South Australia and hope to move their family to the hothouse if they win. They've been voted off once by the other contestants, but were reintroduced to the hothouse after another couple quit. And they've been fighting an uphill battle for acceptance by the others ever since. So, to save couple 2, Chris and Sarah, SMS the number 2 to 188 1110. Or to save couple 14, Pete and Tina, SMS 14 to 188 1110. And have your say on who gets to stay in the hothouse. And next, Tina has had enough of Phil's smart mouth and suspects he's up to no good.
Very cunning, yeah. Cunning and sly.
Okay. And all these things.
On return from Noosa, Foreman Jeff is assigned a task.
Is the site inspector actually coming today? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Okay, so basically everything has to be clean, tidy
before you go home to bed.
Okay. What we're going to be doing is cleaning up the entire site. Number one, move all bricks to the pile beside the site toilets. Clean all rubbish up around the house, our favorite one. Stack all planks and scaffolds in one stack, and you can see them all actually right behind you. Okay, scrape off all plaster in the floors and sweep out house. There's also the scraping off the plaster off the windows. Guys, also make sure you don't touch the house in any way because the rendering is still wet and da-da-da-da.
Scraping off the excess plaster. I think I got the easy job for the afternoon, so except for all the dust.
As they work, Jeff admits the place is looking more and more like a home.
Walking through, and I just thought, wow, it's actually a house. It's not planks anymore, and it's not wooden frames and all that. Especially the, around all the windows now, and they actually have a little bit of a window sill to them, so I think it looks great.
With the rendering almost finished, the gang reflect on their colour selection.
No, they look great. It's lucky we picked the colour, the Armour Grey, because there's a lot lighter than I actually thought it'd come out, but still pretty nice in terms of a feature. I think because of the sunlight that hits it from that angle.
I think it looks quite nice, and looking at all the houses that we looked at today, the light grey and then the big green landscapes with the stone walls and all the dark rendered walls, they look really nice, and timber and everything, so I think it's given enough ideas today to sort of get something really nice, good combination using the colours we've picked, so I think everyone's really, I'm really happy about it.
And the more Chris likes it, the more Pete hates it.
Yeah, it's coming on, but I don't really like the colour. And I had no choice in that. A lot of the builders have said to me too they didn't really like the colour. Maybe we should have more of a decision in it. That's the way it is, so they've got to live with it at the end of the day. I think Ben is one of the loudest guys here, and Chris as well, but I don't think they've got any nous on colour or building. I've actually built before and done renovations and stuff like that, so I sort of know what I'm talking about, but it's never been taken into consideration, so.
And there's something happening on the site between Phil and Pete's wife, Tina. Tina and Pete say Phil's been prying to find out what their survival tactics are, but they don't want to tell him.
You voted for me. Yeah, well, what do you expect? You voted for me, so why wouldn't I?
I was hoping you were going to vote for me.
So I said, I voted for you, Phil. And he goes, well, I voted for you. And I knew he did, but I just wanted to hear it from his mouth. Hey, why would you vote for me then? Why would you do something like that? Don't you like me here?
Yeah, I do.
Well, why would you vote for me then?
Because,
Probably someone else is
No, that's not it.
Well, why would you vote for me then? And I said, you voted for me, mate, because you're in an alliance and you're trying to look after somebody else, but your turn's coming, mate, you know what I mean? And I said to him, you promised me that you weren't going to vote for me. You said to me that I could be a mate of yours outside. Yeah, see, you apologised to me and said I made a mistake, and we've been cool, and you said you're like a mate. Yeah. Why would you vote someone off like that?
Towards everyone else.
Well, why would you vote someone off like that?
But because of your untamed emotions, what happens is you spill out onto other people, and that affects the group.
That's not how it was, though, Phil. What's the matter? I didn't fill out to anybody, mate.
That's what
you're using.
What's that?
And then I said to him, I didn't vote for you, Phil, and now he feels very uncomfortable. And now he knows that I've exposed the alliance.
And I've had the same
problem. You know why he
problem.
voted for us? Because if he didn't vote for us, right, and he voted for someone else, then he'd know his is on the line next week. So it's this alliance.
Alliance then, if everyone does it.
We didn't vote for you.
Yeah, I actually like you guys. There's no doubt about that.
Because he kept looking at Christian through the window, he had his ears out, and it just confirms me that that's the alliance, mate, and I'm going to try to break him up somehow. And he's a bit worried now, I think, because if I stay, I've got power, you know what I mean?
Since yesterday's letter, the power struggle has turned in Pete and Tina's favour.
Awesome.
That's good news.
Do you know what? That's going to them right up, man.
feels very worried about this recent outcome.
There he is over there. Look, he'll go and scam now. Go and tell everyone what I said. Very cunning, yeah. Cunning and sly.
Tension has developed and Phil tries to calm the waters.
Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss.
It's left to Tina to broker a more peaceful solution.
Okay, we'll do a group poll. Who needs more gaffer mate for their mouth? Me and you.
Oh my God.
The clean-up is nearly complete. Phil attempts to create a diversion from his embarrassment by building an industrial sculpture.
Very special. And we thought, art. That's how art happens.
We're onto
right, Phil. We're onto something.
You stumble upon it.
But Jeff, the first-time foreman, not so impressed.
We might have to take some of this sculpture Art Deco thing down just to appease Les.
Okay.
Okay.
We actually have approval.
From who?
We have a permit.
From who?
It's in the Front Wheelbarrow Association.
But it might have to come down.
Next, a ballad to the new voting system that might see Pete stay a little longer in the hothouse.
Elimination show. Another couple will go.
The crew's finally knocked off for the day, but alone in his caravan, Chris is at melting point with elimination hanging over his head.
I just didn't anticipate personality clash this strong, and it's really started to bug me.
In fact, Chris wants to talk to a psychologist to make sure he's handling it correctly.
I just avoid him. I'll if he comes down and sits next to me, I'll get up and move away. And it seems really rude. I try and find a space where I know he won't be.
And no points for guessing who he's talking about.
This particular person, Pete. I'm talking about Pete.
Okay,
I just can't. I haven't even had a conversation with him. They put me on a shopping trip with his wife yesterday, and I just couldn't wait to get out of there.
He almost quit the hothouse.
To that point last night, and I packed my bags and I was ready to go.
But now, after a chat and a chance to vent his frustrations, Chris feels he can face the rest of the week.
I know I've got the skills to deal with it. I'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
The couples put aside their differences as landscape designer Mike explains how they're going to design the gardens and exteriors of their dream home.
The whole goal of this is, we got the site analysis plan that identifies the spaces or areas like setbacks, things that we need, that influence the design.
So you actually get canal views through that bathroom window?
Oh, okay.
Each couple is given a site map and a few days to come up with a unique design.
I think if we're going to use...
Christian and Amy are definite they want the hothouse to reflect their Samoan heritage.
The traditional sort of flowers and plants of Samoa is sort of like the frangipanis and hibiscus plants. It's humid as
and
well.
They're also very low maintenance as well. Like you very rarely have to prune them. That's why I especially love the bird of paradise. They're just beautiful and they're big and they're bold and you know exactly what they are.
Meanwhile, Brett and Ben are colluding once more with their landscape ideas.
Ben and I seem to be very united on what we're doing.
Brett hopes that teaming with the group's artist will win him a decision for once.
I think we will have a bit of a win with this one too, putting it towards the group. Yeah, I'm as confident as the laundry door.
As couples settle in for the night, Tina reminisces about her family back in South Australia.
Got me pickies here, yeah, I got me pickies of my children and obviously my puppy dog and Pete's mum and dad, which has given us good luck all the way through. Joel's personality, he's very bubbly, he's a real character. He always thinks he's in movie, he's a real movie buff, he'll go and dress up all the time and he's always got a cape around him or he's always got a Spider-Man suit on. Corey's a real cartoon boy. He can draw instantly, like you ask him to draw something and he'll come up with, a character and Elena, she's just a real dance queen. She likes dancing and doing the real girly things, dressing up and, getting into the makeup. And it's like, we want this house as much as they all do. But apparently we don't want it for the good reasons. We want it for ourselves and our lifestyle and our children. Like, hello, why else would you want the house?
The last few days have been hard, watching the gang turn on her husband, Pete.
I wanted to vote. I will tell you, the chance when I get to vote for you, I will tell you why, okay?
Well, you already voted
Until
for me,
then,
love.
I don't want to speak to you.
18 people can't be wrong.
But this is one woman who is behind her man every step of the way.
Heaps proud of him. You know, he hasn't let people walk over him, and a lot of people have tried that.
If the couple has learnt anything from the hothouse, it's how to cope with tension. And for Pete, it seems to be as easy as reaching for his guitar.
Well, here we go. Elimination show. Another couple will go.
I just get a good laugh out of it because some of the words he's got in here, it's like, I don't know, I just think it's really funny. And yeah, it's a good little tune, rhymes together, and you know,
well, James and
it's probably just a good little beat for the hot house.
It's nothing new to me. It's just a TV show and a dream home.
Tomorrow night on The Hot House, love is in the air.
I am nervous, yeah, because I didn't expect to be doing this, really.
A touchdown that will tug at the heartstrings. And one couple prepares to be laid off.
If the Australian public has seen us in a way that they think we don't deserve to be here, then so be it.
I think rather people would like to see me in the house because I think I'm very entertaining.
So this week, couple 2, Chris and Sarah, or couple 14, Pete and Tina, will be eliminated. But you have the power to save one of them. Send the number of the couple you want to save via SMS to 188 1110.